Alright, so a quick little backstory from me. My name is Cantrell Mitchell. Branding purposes, I go by Mitchell Cantrell. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois. I moved here about 6 years ago. I ended up in the hair industry just because I wanted to be closer to my passion versus waiting on pre-production, post-production, production, getting all these people. And with hair, you're able to just get right into the action, into the art. I'm an alumni of WVLC. As a student, you know how when your body starts to cramp and you start to feel those first initial pains of hairstyling, it kind of scared me. And one of the things I did was I started to look at different avenues that I can go still within the hair industry. At this time, just like I'm coming to you all, another educator, another business owner came to the school and he inspired me very much. His name is Robert Reed. You all may be familiar with him from Ergo Styling Tools. So I decided to join that team, and education was my new field and my new path. So I've been rocking with that ever since. The last few years have been pushed into the lane of more editorial work, more on-set work of hairstyling. Right now I'm currently not in a salon. I haven't been in a salon for almost 6 months now because that's more so my lane as far as an on-set hairdresser, as well as an educator in the beauty industry. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Almost a year now, another alumni from this school and myself opened up an educational organization right now, which is called The Hair House. The Hair House is an independent educational platform based in Los Angeles. And what we do is we provide an amazing experience for the beauty industry, or anyone really, and we just bring in this dope education from wherever we're doing. He's more of a salon educator, and I'm more of the editorial guy, so we both bring our fields. So anyways, that's where I'm at. One of the things I want to do to start off this class, to open up this class, since you already know, I've had you all in a few different classes already and spoke with you all a few different times. So I want to hear, and you all are almost like seniors now, right? Or on the floor at least, almost finished, right? Okay, so I want to start this class off with some Q&A. Let me get some questions about where you all now in the industry. Where you all are about to finish school really soon, in a few months. Hopefully most of you. I don't see too many now, so there must be some fresh ones in here. So you all are almost finished with school. So if you had any questions about your next steps in the hair industry, please lay them on me. Perfect. You in the back. So start with your name and then your question. Shayna?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just wondering, based on where you are now, looking back to get to where you are, would you have done anything different? Would you have still started with going through Ergo?
Totally. Right now I'm still currently an educator with Ergo Styling Tools. And one of the great things about Ergo is that they allowed me in to their platform and into their classes, as well as they still allowed me to make mistakes and allowed me to find my own voice in education. So some companies may have not even allowed me to do that. They would have said, okay, this is our voice. This is how we present in classes. This is how you go about education. So the great thing about Ergo is that they didn't put those parameters on me, and they really let me figure out who I was as an educator. So I was able to really shortcut through because I had that platform, and they put me in front of people. So, this side. What are you doing after school?
I don't know. I'm probably just gonna work rent a salon chair, just to start off. But,
okay. Why rent?
Just because I have a lot of family members that are already in salons, so it's just easier for me to get into that.
Okay. All right. What about you? What are you doing after school?
Get a job.
Get a job. Okay. What type of job?
Assistant job.
Assistant job. Okay. All right. What type of stylist you want to assist under?
Hair.
Hair. Okay. What in the field? A colorist, cutter, someone that does both?
I think all.
All. Okay, so very versatile stylist. Okay. All right. Have you thought about the location of where this is going to be? No? Okay, well that may be your next step. One of the things when thinking about a location of where you're thinking of your next salon, sir, is the type of clientele you want to deal with.
I think about that, but I don't know which area it is.
Well, again, when thinking about the location of the salon that you want to go to, think about the type of people that you want to be dealing with. Think about the prices that you want to be charging. Obviously, if you see yourself charging $300 for a color and up, 400, 500, 600, you're probably not going to be looking at any salon in the valley.
Santa Monica.
Okay, yeah, Santa Monica, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills. That's going to help you starting to think of the type of clientele. How does she look? How does she wear her hair? Okay, is she going to be doing something more funky? Do you want to be doing more of crazy colors, crazy cuts? Then you're probably going to be working in Hollywood, downtown, Venice, somewhere a little bit more with a funkier audience. All right, some more questions on this side. In the back?
How did you?
Wait, what's your name?
Allie.
Allie?
Yeah.
Okay,
How
Allie.
did you first get in, like, to the film industry?
Okay. How did I first get into the film and photography industry? One of the best things that I was able to do is, luckily, I went to school while one of my peers, another WVLC alumni, was actually active in the industry already. Her name is Leslie Rodriguez, and she was an active makeup artist who was already doing shoots, doing videos, doing commercials, doing film in the industry. She just decided to come back to school to get a license. So I linked up with her. I literally pursued her super hard because she wasn't very like, oh, just come along, because a lot of people were pursuing her. So I pursued her with a passion, and she eventually gave in and let me come out to a shoot, and she gave me some stern criticism, and I stuck with it, and I formed, and I moved, and I grown, and I adjusted, and came out again with her, and we're still working together to this day. Okay, so assisting someone is how I got into it. Okay, some more questions? I know y'all got questions. Come on, I've been a student. Okay, there we go.
So how much do you do with Ergo? Like, do they make you commit like a certain amount of your time towards the company, or are you still kind of free to like do your stuff with them, and then you still have your other jobs on the side?
Okay, so with working with the educational company that I work with, you're asking me the availability as far as that I give them. There is no set schedule as far as, okay, we need this much. I would love if it was that much. If they were like, okay, we need 3 days from you at least, and they were consistent on booking. But right now it's kind of like a as-needed basis. I'm kind of like an independent contractor with them. So they'll let me know. They'll say, okay, or if we have hair shows that we go to every year for the last 4 years that I've been with the company. So I kind of know, all right, around March 21st we'll be in Chicago at the hair show. Around January, late January, we'll be in Long Beach for the Long Beach hair show. So around early June we'll be in Orlando. So that's kind of like the availability that I know I should have. But other than that, as far as classes, like this month, I wasn't personally booked for a class. Keep in mind, there's also other educators with the company and different throughout the nation. So.
Are they just an educator company, or do they have a team of like stylists that do like editorial stuff also, or is it purely?
It's purely tools. It's a tool company that has education.
Okay, so they don't have like stylists that use their tools on shoots and stuff like that?
Well, we do, but it's more so that they just love our tools and we're just connecting with them on a networking basis. But we don't have a styling team like an artistic team. We have that, but not in the form that you're talking about. Okay, some more questions in this group. What are y'all doing after school? Okay, we're gonna go through since it's only a few of you. All right. Name and.
Janet.
Okay.
I don't know what. I think I'm just going to rent a chair too.
Okay, a rent a chair. Okay, how about you? What's your name and what's your plans?
Phoebe.
Okay.
I'm planning to get to a good place where I know I'm gonna make money.
Get to a good place so that you know you're gonna make money. What's your, and is money is your focus? Money is what you want to make, yes? Okay. And do you like doing hair?
I do.
You do. Okay, you like it a lot, huh? Styling. All right. So maybe going into a blow dry bar would actually be a good form and a good idea for you. So now looking at that, going into a blow dry bar, I've actually worked in a blow dry bar for a few months just to get the experience, and it was a pretty decent experience. There was a lot of walk-ins. There's also the blow dry bar that I worked at. They allowed you to take clients as far as cutting and coloring and extensions as well. So some blow dry bars are strictly blow dry, like I believe Dry Bar is strictly blow drying, but some blow dry bars, they let you do other services. So I recommend that for some individuals, especially yourself. Okay, in the back?
Me?
Yes, what's the plans?
Sheree, and I'm gonna go work at Supercuts in City Valley.
Okay, there we go. Got the plan. That's what's up.
My name's Cantrell, and probably rent a chair as well.
Okay. There's a lot of renting chairs here. A lot of people want to rent chairs. Why are we so involved in renting chairs? Huh? Easier? Okay. I'm gonna get to you in a second. There's also commission situations to where you get into a salon, especially when you're starting. You can get into a salon and you don't have to pay a monthly rent. When you are straight coming out of school and you don't have that steady clientele, and maybe you're not. But yes, alright, so commission. Going into a salon that's not going to charge you a few $100s a month while you're still building up this clientele is a convenience. If you're a go-getter and you're one of the busiest people in here, because there's always that 1, 2, 3 people who are in cosmetology school are constantly booked, and they're just having their friends and they're pulling people, then I wouldn't even worry about it. I would say go ahead and rent a chair because you're going to be booked because you're booking yourself already and you're in school. But if you're one of these people who are just sitting down, waiting for clients, not really pushing it, not really working hard and saying, oh, I'm going to rent a chair. If you have that behavior now, then once you get out of school, you're going to still have that same behavior. Okay? Until someone trains you, and conditions you to be a different way. And that training and that conditionment typically doesn't come with salon rental situations. That training typically comes in commission salons. So just think about that. Alright, so with this group?
Sandy.
Cindy.
I'm freelancing right now, makeup. And I want to assist first, and then probably run a chair.
Okay. Assist in the salon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Assisting is also another great way to get into the salon, make some money immediately, make some money. And not all situations of assisting includes money, but a good percentage of them do. This is going to allow you not only to learn hair, because maybe some of you all are like, oh, I know everything, or I at least know my cuts, my particular cuts, my 3 cuts, my 4 cuts that I do on pretty much all my clients, and my colors that I like to do. I pretty much know that I'm ready to go. Assisting is not only learning the technical stuff, but it's also learning how to run a business. When you're assisting, you're able to see how this stylist is treating their clients, how this stylist is managing their books, how this stylist is approaching situations. Like, okay, this client is late, this client has been consistently late, I'm going to do so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. And you get to watch back and see, so you're going to handle that situation. Or say if a client flips out, and you get to just watch, and you get to learn what a stylist would do, or what a stylist shouldn't do. So you learn a lot in these situations from assisting a stylist. Getting a good idea of how much money they're making, because you're going to know how much they charge. So you're like, okay, she did 5 people, that's like $500. Okay, so she had to give that commission over to the salon. Alright, so she's probably taking home about this much money. And then she probably tipped because I kind of seen it, or they kind of gave, so you kind of get to get a good idea of how much money you're going to be making when you're working super hard. So it's just a great idea. Don't just think of assisting as, oh, learning techniques. You also learn the business from assisting.
Salon on Saturdays in Moore Park. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep going there because I'm gonna go and get my second license, the barbering license.
Yes.
And then I wanna work for someone else for 1 year and then open my own salon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Why 1 year?
Because I just wanna get experience in
Okay.
1 year. Yeah.
Okay. So have you ever lived in an apartment for 1 year?
No.
Or have you ever moved somewhere, like rented a room, or stayed in a location lived-wise for 1 year?
For 1 year, no.
No? What was the smallest amount of time that you've lived in an area?
Like
in a
3
place?
years.
3 years? Okay. So in 3 years at that location that you stayed, you were able to just really, really know the neighborhood, right? Get a good idea of the neighborhood,
Yeah.
get a good idea of the streets around, some places to, maybe good places to eat, some maybe like a local bar or a place to pick up some beers or something like that, right? But it wasn't until you were about like 2 years before you really got a good idea
What
of
happens
the
is,
neighborhood.
since I'm already assisting, like 1 year after I finished my barbering school.
1 year after,
Yeah.
at a
so
different place.
I'm planning on staying there for like at least 2 years because that guy is really good. He works for like really, really big singers and all that too. So
So it'll be more like 2 years.
yeah, maybe like 2 years.
Yeah, okay, because you already put in
Yeah,
a
I'm
good
just not
amount of
counting
time.
the one I'm going right now.
Oh, okay. So you're just kind of pausing,
Yeah.
going to school, and then coming back and continuing your
Yeah.
education. Okay. So then it's more like 2 years.
Kind of.
Okay. So this is a good point here. I was saying all that to say is that 1 year may not be enough at all. If you think about the situation as far as, you'll throw to block my view and everything. If you think about the situation as far as 1 year getting into a place, getting into any salon, there's going to be an adjustment period. That adjustment period could take 4, 5, 6, 7 months before things are actually going. Especially if you're assisting someone directly, it's going to take a few months before y'all even get y'all flow together. Before it's consistent, before you're already thinking in that person's mind, and you already know what they need to know, and y'all have y'all flow, and y'all able to knock out clients, and the assisting really happens, and y'all able to, and it's not so much of training, it's more of just y'all doing it. That's not going to happen in 3 months. That's not going to happen in 4 months. Doesn't typically happen in 5 months, especially because y'all new. So y'all are a clean slate. Maybe if y'all assisted, like, what was your name? Juan assisted someone, so he already has like, okay, they probably will want this. They probably will want this. As a student, sometimes we don't even know some of the situations that they would want and how to handle situations. So we are completely blank slates. So for anyone who's saying, okay, I'm going to go to a salon for a year, trust me, I've assisted multiple people, and it takes months before you even think past that next level. You're just in the beginning. You're just getting that coding. So at least in your chart, put at least 2 years. And you will see that first 6 months is not even. Not only the stylist that you're assisting, but how the people treat you around in that salon. Everyone, it's a conditioning situation. They haven't adapted to you yet. So that means you haven't adapted to them yet. So that means that flow isn't there. So give yourself more than just a year. By that first year, you're like, okay, this can possibly work. I kind of get an idea of where I'm at, what are my key points to offer this salon, and how to move forward. So you're kind of like recognizing and assessing the situation after that first year. And then that second year, you're able to just go hard in your strengths. You're finding your strengths in that first year. And once you know them by the end of that first year, year 2, you're just able to just really push those strengths. That makes sense? Good, good. Okay. All right, down the line. What's your name and what's your plan? Raina.
I want to start assisting too.
Okay, good. You see, now we're starting to get some assisting. People getting off this rented chair thought. That's good. Why do you want to start assisting?
To get more experience.
Get more experience.
And then maybe I could rent a chair.
And then maybe you can rent a chair. Good, good. Where are you thinking about assisting?
I don't know yet.
Okay. What again, this is a big thing. If some people are thinking about assisting, some people are thinking about going to rent a chairs, one of the things we want to do is we want to look at, let me write this down. All right. Look at the clients. Who are the clients? I'm a bad speller, and and my handwriting isn't the best. Just heads up. Okay, so we have clients. We have location. Do you want to be close to home? And do you need to be, if you have a child and she's in daycare or she stays at home with the family, do you want to be a certain amount of miles away from that location? Or does it not matter? Can you go all the way to work downtown and you live all the way and so? Okay? So the location. Also, I knew when I was setting up my location, I had a global, I think globally because I want my brand to be global. So now when I was looking for a place to work, I knew that globally, most people only know Los Angeles, Hollywood, and Beverly Hills. So if I worked at an amazing, amazing salon in Pasadena, and I assisted for a moment, but my main assisting round was in West Hollywood, I knew if I was to go out in Tokyo and do a press conference or do a keynote somewhere, and I said, oh, I worked at this amazing salon in Pasadena, they would say, near Hollywood? You know, it's near Hollywood? No. So if you have to think like that as far as picking your location. If you do plan on having more of a global influence, a global impact, then you have to pick somewhere that people know globally. And that's Hollywood, Beverly Hills, something with Los Angeles, whether it's downtown Los Angeles. You can even throw West Hollywood in there because it has Hollywood in there. So that's a big thing too. Also, again, your clients. Do you want to, some people over the past years of doing these conversations with students, I've had some students say, I don't want to deal with stuck-up people. I don't want to deal with people who, act a certain way or who feel entitled to a certain way. Then maybe you want to work in a more humbling place, in a place that you won't perhaps run into those people. Not saying that you can be in the slums and you can still run into someone who feels a certain type of way about themselves. But obviously, if you're in a more privileged area, you're going to be dealing with a little bit more, say, privileged people or people who feel a certain way about themselves and carry a certain, vush about themselves. We'll just keep it like that. I know I'm being recorded, so I'm trying to keep it in parameters. All right. Okay, so those are some things we'll add to it in a bit.
My name's Kelly. I freelance makeup hair. I've done some fashion shows, weddings. Fashion shows are my favorite though.
Nice.
I like to be on set, most likely. I like the stress of a fashion show.
Yes, it's definitely
I like
stressful.
the upbeat stress.
Good.